There's lots of reasons why family businesses fail, and there are universities both here in the UK and in America who run whole sort of master's courses on family businesses, looking at the dynamics and psychology around family businesses. You get this common perception that not many family businesses survive the third generation. And you had Andrew Carnegie, who coined the phrase 3 generations from shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves. And another phrase often says, you know, the first generation build the business, the second generation make it a success, and it's the third generation who wreck the business. And a lot of that comes out of this perception that by the time you get to the third generation, they're born into wealth and privilege that's been generated from the first and second generations, and they can't therefore manage the business. However, on the flip side, if you're talking about a third generation business, that's a business that could have been going 60 years if it's 20 years a generation, 90 years if it's 30 years a generation. And asking anyone to run a business and maintain it over a 90-year period is actually an amazing feat. But you know, quite often lack of communication is a big issue, because whenever there's issues, those issues are allowed to simmer and they gradually build up and they will at some point explode. Sibling rivalry as well, when you're handing down the business through the generations and you've got perhaps brothers and sisters there. And again, this is where the academics will go right back to the psychology of siblings as children and fighting for attention and everything else. But ultimately, when you've got siblings who are fighting against one another and that sibling rivalry there, they're not working together for the common good of the business, and it's the business that suffers as a result. But the communication one quite often is the big piece with regards to managing expectations, what each party wants from the family business, and being able to be open with one another about where the family business should be going, but in the context of each of the individual families and what they want out of it, both personally and in relation to the business. And that line between work and the business is almost non-existent in an awful lot of family businesses, and perhaps some of the most successful family businesses are the ones that work very hard in trying to draw a line and a distinction between the two. My wife is second generation in the family business, and I've seen how easily that 9 o'clock phone call with how are the kids today, have they had a good day at school, by the way, did that invoice go out, it can just turn instantly in a family setting outside of work hours, you know, in a private home, where instantly a conversation about the children within 30 seconds has turned to talking about the business. And I think it is very difficult for people to differentiate and separate out the two. But you know, there are some businesses that work very, very hard to draw that line, but involve all the family members as well. So they might do family get-togethers where all the spouses are invited as well, and they will actually, the ones who are involved with the business are presenting and talking about the business and explaining what's going on, allow questions to be asked. And you know, the most successful family businesses work very hard on that engagement piece with family members and wider family members as well.